Go check out my solo only server in the description, along with my solo duo server. It's no longer a trio. You can check that in the description on how to join, and it's doing pretty well so far. I'll see you guys there. Now for the video, today I'm going to be showing you a solo or a solo duo, maybe even trio base. It depends on how many people you want to cram in here. I would use this as a solo player on a modded server or on a vanilla if I feel like I'm going to be playing for a full wipe, because this is going to require some upgrades to reach its full potential. So you'll see the basic floor plan right here. It's just a triangle surrounded with 3 squares and 6 triangles. So we're going to put our airlock right here, and then our second floor access over to the side over here, which you can throw a shotgun trap under. I have a walkthrough in the beginning of the video that shows you my example furnishings on the inside if you want to check that, along with just a few door layouts. You know what I mean? Like the doors on the inside of this thing are really going to be up to you and what you have. If you have blueprints already from like the server wiped and you still have some blueprints, I would recommend using a lot of garage doors in here. You know me, I like my doors. Over on this triangle in the middle, we're going to be putting our TC, so we're going to want to wall that off. We're also going to have loot rooms over here as well. So I'm going to throw the second floor down and upgrade that. A little side note, I would recommend building like a 2x1 starter base to build up some materials to build this base. If you can get metal frags smelted right away, you'll see later on how we are going to be upgrading things to metal just for some added protection if you're not going to honeycomb it at all. If you're going to honeycomb it, then, you know, fuck it, just keep the inside stone. It depends on what you want to do. I recommend building it the way that I have it, starting off in a 2x1 or a starter base. You can check my starter base video. I have a couple pretty cheap starter base designs. Also, I have some other ones randomly spread out along my channel, so go check that out. I'm going to be redoing my playlist pretty soon, so it's easier to find the types of builds that I do. So also go check out my playlist. I should be updating that around the time that this video airs. Right now you can see we're putting a little bit of protection around our TC and building our second story access point, which like I said before, I would recommend building all of this at once, but you could just put a door right here if you just want to start building this right away. You got like 10k stone and you just feel like you can build this right away. Put this door down, and then you'll see how on the other side we can wall off the TC, and we're going to be using windows over here, but you could put a door frame down and sealing all of this off so that it is protected while you go build up some more materials from PvPing or farming. So right here you can see how we would just put a half wall over above the TC and then throw down some ceilings right here along with our windows and door, if that's how you want to go. Otherwise I would put 2 window frames down like I do here after showing you the door example. After we get all of this upgraded on the second floor, I'm also going to add a shooting floor, which is unnecessary. You could just wall off the ceiling above the TC and call it at that. But I know a lot of people like having shooting floors, so we could just add a shooting floor whenever we want, put a door right here and sealing it off until we get enough materials to build that, because I would prefer to have everything downstairs metal before we start, you know, adding a third floor if you don't have enough materials for that. But if you do have an excess amount of stone, then you can go ahead and build this. If you don't want it, I would just sealing off the second floor and leave it at that. So it's going to cost around 15k stone if you decide to build the shooting floor on here. Otherwise, it's going to be around like 9 or 10k stone for the startup of this, which is why I recommend building a different starter base before building this. Unless you're like a duo, then you could probably farm that up pretty quick. If you want to add a little bit of protection above your TC, you could just drop this door lower, but it makes it a little harder to jump up. As you can see, we're not going to be able to put 2 doors down because of the TC right here. So we're going to have to drop this door down lower, and then we can put another triangle above it. If somebody decides to rock it down from the top, though, you just have a little bit of extra protection above your TC. Doesn't really matter too much. I would just probably put the door the way we had it before. Like I said earlier, the doors are really up to you, what kind of blueprints you have. If you have garage doors straight off the bat, then I would recommend putting those everywhere that you can, besides your front airlock and where the windows are at. But otherwise, double doors work just fine too. Until you get the garage door blueprints, you can pop the doors off later and switch them out. Over here, we're going to just throw down a little thing so that it makes it easier for us to run through here instead of having to make the jump every single time. And then after that, I'm going to show you how I would upgrade everything. The inner triangle where the TC is located should be high quality metal all the way around. And then we're going to start upgrading the base to metal, which is just basically the exterior of the base and the areas around where our loot rooms are going to go. Also, don't forget that we need to upgrade the floors as well, because otherwise people would just probably rocket out the bottom of this base once they see what the inside of it looks like. So we're going to want to make sure that they can't do that. And don't forget that we left the TC open on the bottom half of it just in case we were thinking about, expanding off of the space. So make sure that we close that off at some point, because our main loot storage is going to be basically walled off. So as you can see here, I threw a sleeping bag down over here with a salvage shelf and 4 boxes on it. The salvage shelf is pretty easy to get. I'm sure if you just go hit some barrels and some boxes for a while on the road, you'll find one. So the whole point of this is we're going to code lock all of these boxes and throw down half wall and a quarter wall right here, and then we'll be able to dispose of our loot over there, kill ourselves and spawn on the inside, and then we'll have access to our TC and our loot. Just make sure that the boxes are as close to the wall as possible so that when you spawn in there, you don't glitch out and you can reach your TC. I would recommend upgrading this to high qual if you can, but sheet metal is fine. Also, since the TC is so protected, we can put our windows and embrasures in there and not have to worry about people picking them up. Upstairs, we're going to upgrade the floor, put some door frames down just to have some added protection from rockets. And we're going to finish off the loot room downstairs, which is going to use the research table thingamajig to poke your head through the ceiling so that it's literally unraidable. There's no way you can do the little glitch on here, especially on the top one. That we're building right now. We're going to use the research table to access this, which you'll see in a moment. Make sure you code lock all your boxes, and anybody that's in your group gets the codes on those before you lock it up completely. So you see, you just hop up on here. Make sure you place it the way that I placed it, otherwise it's going to be a little difficult to put it the right way. And then you just throw it in the bottom so you always have it. This was my new solo/duo, maybe even trio. That's pushing it a little bit, but some of you guys are crazy out there. You like to do weird things. If you like the video, drop a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about the video, what you think could be improved upon this base. Let me know about anything you want to see in the future, and also check my description for all my links. I'm going to start being active on other social medias. Also, that's where I'll be posting any announcements and giveaways that I do in the future. I'll catch you guys next time.